Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to our live feed update for April 17th. I'm your host, Aaron Armstrong, and I'm here today to update you on everything that's happening on the Big Brother Canada 7 live feeds. I am here in Philadelphia at Podcast House. There are a bunch of loud people in that other room and loud birds chirping in the window. And luckily I'm getting confirmation that everything is hopefully working and everything is live here and the Wi-Fi is not going to go out on me. So, all right, let's talk about what happened in the Big Brother Canada 7 house. It was day 46 in the house, and lots of things going on. Let me just pick up my notes on my laptop. All right. So it was Dane's birthday. He was hanging out. He has a birthday. He likes his birthday. He wanted a kiss from Esty. Didn't get a kiss from Esty. Not good. But we did have some campaigning. We had some stuff like that, so we'll have some fun with the day. Corey had a conversation with Mark in the morning about how she feels like she has Dane's vote, but lets Mark know that if Dane betrays her, if Dane votes Corey out, because Corey, if you don't remember, has been put up on the block by the assassin. And so she is up on the block next to Damien and Esty, and she's relying on Dane's vote. She thinks she has it, and she's telling Mark this, but she also tells Mark that, hey, if Dane betrays me, you'd better avenge me, Mark. You'd better avenge me. Make sure you save the day. Get him back for me. So there you go. Mark spends the whole day still thinking that he won the triple eviction. He's like, guys, I won the triple. Isn't this great? Isn't this awesome? I accidentally won the triple. Guys, what if it's a double though? What if it's a double? What if two people leave and it's a triple eviction? Oh my God. Isn't that crazy? So that's happening all day. Dane has this weird plan to make the vote be a 2-to-1-to-1 vote. I think this is because Corey thinks that he's going to be voting for her to stay, and so he's trying to come up with a way to mitigate that sort of bitterness that she might feel if he votes to evict her. He's mostly joking about it when he talks about it, but I don't know. It's very strange. I'm not sure what's going on with it. I don't think he's gonna go through with it. It would be very dumb, but he is talking about this, and so it's worth noting just in case something happens with it. But probably not. But just in case, you know now. Adam and people are talking, or not talking. They are blocking Corey from campaigning all day. They are going to be just following Corey around, not letting her have time alone with people, and yeah. What are you gonna do? I feel like Corey's not the person that they need to be talk blocking. I feel like Anthony is the one that they need to be talk blocking, but it's fine. All right, so Anthony and Damien have a couple of conversations throughout the day. If you remember, yesterday I told you that Dane had spoken to Damien after the big argument with the Pretty Boys and let Damien know that Anthony was really pushing hard for Damien to leave, and in fact coming up with some lies about Damien, that he was coming after them, that he was all these blah 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 blah, and so, Damien was shocked. He was like, "What? What's happening? Why is Anthony doing this?" And so Damien had conversations with Anthony yesterday, and Anthony was basically like, "Hey, I'm not campaigning against you. I don't know if you have heard that I'm campaigning against you, but I'm not campaigning against you. And if you have heard, whoever told you that is a liar, and they're lying to you because I'm not campaigning against you, Damien. And then he's later going to have another conversation with Damien where he again kind of says like, hey, I'd kind of prefer, obviously I'd like Corey to stay, but I'd kind of prefer that you stay over Esty. And I always felt that way. So again, don't believe anybody if they tell you that I'm campaigning against you. And I feel like Damien is maybe a little bit taken in by it. He obviously should be a little bit wary, and he knows that Anthony would prefer for Corey to stay. But I think he's hoping that on the off chance that Anthony is able to get the votes somehow, that Anthony will be pushing against Esty instead of himself. And that might be Anthony's out in terms of how to recoup his losses, how to pivot from his previous position. So that's happening with Anthony and Damien during the day. Mark and Kira have a conversation where Mark is, of course, trying to get Kira on board with keeping Corey in the house, and Kira is not having it. Kira's like, dude, come on. Kira says to Mark, hey, everyone was bitter about me and Adam campaigning for Sam, and now you and Anthony are doing the same thing, campaigning for Corey. Like, come on. What is up with that? Kira just kind of continuing to spew the truth bombs out onto people like Mark. It's really just Mark all the time, Mark. So there you go. I thought that was funny. Kira's going to repeat that line to a few different people. Dane is going to have a conversation with Mark as well. Mark is talking to Dane about, again, keeping Corey. And Mark says that, hey, Dane, it fits your storyline. It fits your storyline to vote to keep Corey, because this is the story, right? The story is that that you want to respect the HOH. That's the story. That's a terrible story. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And so Dane is just like, what's that's not a story. No, the story is that Corey put me on the block, and so now I'm gonna vote her out. It doesn't make sense for me to vote to keep her after she put me on the block. That would make it seem like there's something sketchy going on. That's a bad story. The good story is that Corey put me on the block, and now I'm voting her out, right? And Mark was like, right, yeah. But here's your story. You want to vote to keep Corey because you respect the HOH. And Dana's like, no, that's the opposite of what I just said. Mark is doing this thing. It's very annoying, but it's weird. I think maybe he's trying a little bit to mimic the Anthony style, sort of like just, I'm going to tell you the thing and be confident about it, and you're just going to believe me or listen or whatever. But he keeps ignoring what everyone is saying to him and just repeating the same thing back to himself, to the other person. Like, so Dane will keep saying, no, that's not the story. And Mark will just be like, no, this is the story. The story is you're respecting the HOH. And Dane will go off on a whole thing about why that doesn't make sense for him and why he's not going to do it. And then Mark will be like, okay, great. But here's your story. You're voting to keep Corey because you want to respect the HOH. And hey, it's a triple eviction anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's like, what are you? You're not listening. He's not listening to a word anybody's saying to him. I guess that's what he has to do at this point. So that happened. Dane was very annoyed by it. Dane has his birthday party. He does his whole birthday thing. He gets a photo of his dad. It's very sad. Lots of people say nice things to him. Kira talks about how great he is. Adam talks about how he's found a new brother, and all that stuff. He also gets a scrapbook, and they take some photos. One of the photos they take are of, hey, remember Chelsea and her crazy theory about the guys working together and how they do the weird hand sign. Why don't we take a picture like that to like be like, oh, isn't this funny? And so they were trying to do it, and I think they were trying to avoid having Damien be a part of it, but Damien was like, no, obviously I would be a part of it too. And so they end up taking a photo with Damien, all doing the pretty boy signal, and everyone in the house found it so funny. Like, oh, Chelsea. Oh, how silly of her. And they just did it right out in the open. That's definitely going to be on the episode. So that happened. Dane wants to get the pretty boys together to get them all on the same page about the vote. He's really trying to keep the group together because it's definitely in his best interest to, at least on the surface, keep them together and stay in good with Mark and Anthony for now, at the very least. But Adam is kind of like, why? I just don't care. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't care. Adam's been kind of worrying about Dane's vote to evict Corey for a little while now. He's concerned that Anthony's going to be able to flip him. And there are a lot of people who watching the feeds that are concerned that Anthony's going to be able to flip him. So you can't blame him that much. So what are you going to do? Masonry says Chelsea tweeted about it. She was so mad. Oh, boy. All right. So Adam and Kira have some conversations about Anthony. They talk about how good he is in the game. Kira says they feel like Anthony is potentially one of the best social players in Big Brother Canada history. And again, they're probably right. They're probably right about that. Adam says, don't worry. I'm not going to tell anyone everything that you say about Anthony anymore. And so people are trying to invade. You know, they're in the chat trying to distract me. They're coming into the room trying to distract me. I don't know who this man is. How did you get in here, sir?
I just want to say that Taryn is doing an amazing job on the updates. You guys should be so thankful that he's in this freaking bed in Airbnb and is trying to give you guys the updates. Like, I laughed at him when he said that he was going to continue doing this, but here he is, and he's actually doing a really good job. Like, give it up for Taryn, people, all right?
Yeah, thank you.
By the way, I know I kept asking Matt, like, what are you like? Why are you not on the show? Like, I have a mic, like, you can be a part of this. And then I realized Taryn just probably wants to get through this and get through the day. So that's definitely what was going on. By the way, I did say on Twitter that I felt like Anthony was 50-50 as far as keeping Corey. I think that percentage has gone down. Dane has shown an incredible amount of stick-to-itiveness in terms of sticking to his opinion. I didn't think that was going to happen, and it looks like Anthony isn't going to get his way for the first time in the house, which is going to be very, very fun. I hope that the pretty boys break up, but I'm still worried that the remnants of it, like the old Republic or the old Empire in Star Wars, will stick around and will,
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes, like they're going to still be controlling things. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but I kind of feel like it's going to happen.
Yeah. Wow.
I tried to come in at the end when you were almost done. So okay, cool. All right.
Yes. I saw Hoodie Allen in the chat say hi, Brent, or sup, Brent.
What?
Hoodie Allen.
He said what?
He said sup, Brent.
Oh, sup. I thought it was suck. Sup, Brent.
Oh boy, Brent is always making comments and then like that I think are innocuous, and then he's like, I didn't mean it like that, and I'm like, I didn't think you meant it like that until you said it that you meant it, that you didn't mean it like that. All right, anyway. So where was I here? They talk about Anthony and how good he is. Adam and Kira and Dane talk as well about how great it would be if Corey leaves. Kira's basically telling Adam and Dane that you two are going to run the game once Corey's gone, and I'm fine with that. Kira is talking more about like how they really feel like they can't win, or at least they can't win unless they start winning competitions. And so if they don't win, they really do want Adam or Dane to win the game. And so they're trying to make that happen, and they're trying to be like, Dane, you should be wanting Corey to leave, just in case you don't realize that. It's very good for you if Corey leaves. And Dane seems to recognize that. He says that he knows that to Kira. He says that he knows that to the cameras. But whenever he's in a room with Mark or Anthony, he's more direct with Mark, but less so with Anthony. And he does seem a little more wishy-washy. And this whole, like, he keeps joking about this 2-1-1 vote where he votes for Esty to leave Anthony votes for Damien to leave, and then Adam and Kira vote for Corey to leave. It's just a little too cute, and I'm not sure if he's serious about it. He might be. And Dane. Brent is currently doing an impression of Mary's dad in the shot.
Oh, am I? Sorry, I didn't think they could see me.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
That's
Sorry.
that's what happened with Mary's dad. Oh boy. So. Yes. So. Corey and Dane have a conversation as well toward the end of the night where Corey talked to Dane and said, "Hey, Dane, you're one of my favorite people," which Dane turned into, "You're one of my favorite people I've ever met in my entire life on the planet Earth." So she talked about how loyal she is. She wants to fight it out at the end. She wants to get to the end with all of the big guns and fight it out, the bloodbath. That's what Corey wants. It's not really what she wants. She's actually lying to Dane here. Good on Corey for doing what she can, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I think that this is the best that Corey can do. I think that if there's any way that Dane might flip, it is this idea that maybe Corey is willing to stick with them. But it makes no sense for him to do so. I have no reason to believe that he actually would. There's just been a lot of sketchy stuff going on. So, just be aware. Just be aware. Dane could theoretically make an incredibly boneheaded move, and just if he does, be prepared for his stock to just plummet, because that would be really dumb if he voted to keep Corey. So that's about what I've got for you. It's kind of a truncated live feed update. There wasn't a ton that was happening yesterday. The feeds were down for most of the day. We got another correspondent coming in with breaking news. Not breaking news, but extra information.
Did you guys see the Eddie, Chelsea, and Kaylin drama on Twitter? That was fun, wasn't it? Eddie was mad about something Chelsea said, and Kaylin jumped in and was calling Chelsea a liar. At least we still got some entertainment from these pre-jury, pre-somethingers.
Yeah, pre-jury. Yeah, that was awkward. That was just like...
I thought it was worth reading for the entire day, since we couldn't really watch much. We got some live feeds on Twitter.
It's just, if you're a former player and you just got out of the house, maybe try to avoid the Twitter arguments. Not the greatest look, but people do find it entertaining. So, maybe you're going for that. All right, so that's what we've got for you for the day. If I managed to get through this update without you realizing that I slept like 2 hours last night, then thank you for believing in me. And if you definitely realized that happened, then I'm sorry. So you can find me on Twitter at ArmstrongTaryn, Twitch at twitch.tv/TarynArmstrong. You can find me on Instagram, Taryn_Armstrong. I will be probably posting some things. I posted a picture of my cat yesterday and maybe some other pictures today about Philadelphia and things. So
Who's leaving Survivor tonight?
check that out. No Survivor spoilers. This is an update.
What? It's been a week.
This is an update. We don't talk Survivor on the update. All right. So thank you guys for joining me this morning. I will be back tomorrow morning. Just in case, just be aware that if I'm a little bit late, which I probably won't be, just be aware that I'll be there. I'll be there eventually. Just warning you just a little bit though. All right. Thank you so much for understanding and hanging out with me. I will see you next time.